Hey y'all, grown black folks talk. My current situation. This is Dubose and Buena Vista. One half of the way up the hill, but as high as we're going today because I have to really kind of get myself ready and prepared in a way I am not today to go back to the top. We will be doing that, but what I want to talk to y'all about today is just kind of more of an idea of don't let the weather forecast scare you. Now, literally, according to the weather forecast that I've been looking at, it should be pouring down rain right now. And this is the third day in a row that is true. But all 3 days have actually been lovely afternoons. And so I've come out and got my work done. And today is actually not the farthest distance I've gone. It's as high as I've gone, but it's not the farthest distance. And all three of these have been beautiful days. Now, the wives are carrying an umbrella around. The start for the rain keeps getting pushed back, but if you sit in here, you feel it, you know it's coming. And even in your early view, you can see clouds stacked on clouds even to the east. So at some point, yes, it will be raining out here. But if I had listened to the weather forecast, that would have been 3 absolutely splendid days. And I would not be sitting here watching cumulus clouds develop, enjoying a beautiful view of the city in a beautiful place. There are people, plenty still in the world, who always are forecasting what black people can and cannot do. And we can extend this a little bit further. You know, if you don't have a certain amount of money, people are always telling you what you can and cannot do. And the people who are trying to tell you what they can and cannot do are Satan's little helpers. Because Satan's idea was to take his will and his desires and put them next to God's desires and his will and have them be seen as equal. I will be like the Most High. Well, when people come to you and tell you what you cannot do, they don't no more know you from the man in the moon. That is exactly the position they are trying to take in your life. I had the dubious displeasure of being in a conversation this weekend with someone who had mistakenly extrapolated her 3 friends with the life chances of all 25 million black women in a certain area. But that kind of bad thinking is not all, that sometimes happens because we just don't know. We all tend to believe that our experience really does define reality. We all tend to do that if we don't think about it. The trouble comes when people insist on it. And then if you let them get any kind of position of power in your life, that becomes a problem for you because you start believing what is not true. Like I said, bad thinking and reasoning about the whole world based on our experience is something that a trap any of us can fall into. There's nothing new about it. But it is difficult for us as black people, as African Americans, and even I have some viewers from the diaspora. This makes our life very, very difficult. Because now it's not people outside. Let me also explain something else to you. Racism is the expression of people who wanted to have complete control of bodies and souls and lives to do with them as they wished at their disposal. That too is an expression of that same Satanist push. So whenever you meet people like that who are committed to it, you know who you're dealing with. I've talked about functional Satanists before. But see, now we have a situation in the black community where we keep listening to this, a weather forecaster based on the past history. And for about 246 years, and let's say Jim Crow added with it, so let's just make it rounded up 350 years and leave it. What we could do was very limited. Now we have conversations where we limit ourselves, and that's no good. So, always check the weather forecast. It is true that African Americans economically are on a very bad trajectory as a group. It is true that if we cannot as a unit get ready to make changes in how we do business in the 21st century, the group will remain actually where it is. Except that the economy is changing so much that it will be very difficult to conceive a way out of being the permanent underclass. That is the forecast. It's a very grim forecast. By that time, you also have to look at the very grim forecast for the United States of America and its ballooning debt. See, that debt is about the same size that would have been the debt owed to African Americans' ancestors. And if it had been paid to our ancestors, or even to any of their descendants, it would have remained in the country. Now it's owed to foreign countries. And eventually, that's going to have to be dealt with. And it will leave the country. That's going to leave the United States in a tough spot. That's the forecast. But like I said, weather forecast today is pretty grim. Yesterday or the day before. And for tomorrow is pretty grim. And yet, here we are. On this beautiful day in San Francisco. Here we are. And this is the third such day in a row. The forecast is what it is. Go out and seize the day. Stop listening to people that always have a reason why you can't. They're not in charge of you. Now, I'm not saying, like, for example, if I wanted to be an Olympic gymnast at 41 and overweight, no. There's plenty of evidence that shows why that's not going to happen. Even in great shape, most grown women are, what you get 24, 25, that time of your life is running out. Even in the best shape, even Simone Biles, even Dominique Dawes, it's some of the greatest gymnasts, athletes. Career is over. If you're an athlete, period. By 41, most people's career is over. Now, shout out to some of these ageless quarterbacks we seem to have now. But you do have to accept certain things are reality. But other than that, people telling you what they can't do because they don't want to do it, they can't do it, they don't want to see you do it, get away from them. And even with the forecast is what it is. It doesn't necessarily have anything for you to do with your future, unless you agree to it being your fate. Please get out, seize whatever day and opportunities there are in front of you. And I'm also talking to myself because someone dropped a huge one into my lap. It's been a rough year. I feel like I'm going to have to plan my vacation first. My passport came. Probably not going out of the country right now, but possibility is there. Rest when you need to, and get up and seize the day. Forecast is what it is. Seize the day. Whatever your opportunity may happen to be that's in front of you. All right. Y'all have a good day now. I'm going to listen to these birds sing a little bit longer, and I'm going to head back because I'm looking at my position, and I do see that things that look a little bit more like serious rain clouds do seem to be heading in this direction. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. One more view. Remember, I'm supposed to be soaking wet, right? It's supposed to be pouring rain. That's the forecast. And yet, don't forget. Bye.